How you woofing doing? It's Jake the dog here, and in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about the new immigration rules update, which I got 7 hours ago, so this morning. So greetings, Governor. Governors have happily made use of the immigration system since it was first implemented. However, the system has also made it difficult to ensure the game remains balanced for everyone. In order to create a fair game environment, we will be making the following changes to the immigration system in the near future. Alright, let's hope for good changes. The kingdom status will be determined by the current period. Each season is split into an off-season and a battle period, which has already been before. Battle periods are when kingdoms can enter the Lost Kingdom. Off-season periods are the time between each battle period, so that's when the different kingdoms are either open or closed to migrators, as you can't migrate during the battle period. Preparation season is from the beginning of a kingdom to the occupation of their lost temple. Season 1, the first KVK, from the occupation of a kingdom's lost temple to the end of their first lost kingdom. Season 2 is from the end of Lost Kingdom Season 1 to the end of Season 2. Season 3 is from the end of Lost Kingdom Season 2 to the end of Season 3 of Light and Darkness. And then there was Season of Conquest, which is from the end of Season 3, Light and Darkness, and onward. Immigration Limited, you are unable to immigrate to a kingdom that is in a battle period. So like I stated earlier, you are only able to join a kingdom when they are in the off-season period. Now these are the new law optimizations. If your current kingdom is in their preparation season or season 1, current immigration rules apply, but you cannot immigrate to a kingdom that has already finished season 1. Alright, so I'm just gonna get back to that after I finish all of the rules. If your current kingdom is in season 2, you can only immigrate to other kingdoms in season 2 off seasons period. If your current kingdom is in season 3, you can only immigrate to kingdoms in the off-season period of season 2 or 3. If your current kingdom is in the season of conquest, you can immigrate to any kingdom in the off-season period of season 2, 3, or the season of conquest. Rules regarding Imperium and Rising Kingdoms will not be changed. I'm simply just confused because these new rule optimizations are to, because it said the old systems made it hard to contain balance and they want a fair game environment, but everything that was unfair is still a factor. If you're in Season of Conquest, you can still immigrate back to Season 2. So at least now, players are limited from going all the way to the first KVA and completely wrecking noobs. But I just don't see how this resolves any issues. And also, it just keeps more people stuck as well. So, one, it doesn't actually target the issue, which is people with max commandos, max tech, um, all like who have played the game for 800 plus days. They just migrate. They can still migrate back to season 2. There and the only difference now is that if you go back to season 2, you are stuck in season 2 and season 3. Like you can't migrate back forward to like season of conquest, for example. But If you're going back to season two, it's because you don't want to do season of conquest, because no one wants to do the new crystal mine stuff. Like everything to do with crystals have been completely pay to win. I've I've completely avoided it this KVK, as I know many players have as well, knowing how ridiculous it is to grind it. But but this doesn't solve any issues, and it creates a new issue that players who are in starting kingdoms, they're stuck. Like you're stuck in season one to season two. You're basically stuck to going all the way to season of conquest to then immigrate. Like if, for example, you're in a newer kingdom and you want to go to like, for example, you have friends in a very old kingdom, or you just want to go to a well-established kingdom. Now those players who are seeking those established kingdoms are now in stuck in these seasons where, like, if for example in season one they would be the lowest power, of course, and it's the most easiest to migrate at that time, but now players are just gonna be held back from making that decision. Um, we're gonna lead on. The above changes are planned to take effect on or around March 25th. So, at least we still got some time for all the players, all the new players that want to go to older kingdoms, for anyone who will be stuck in these season 2 to season 3 periods, or even season one period. Like, this is your chance to get out while you can. But like, this doesn't make a fair environment at all. Like, it still has the biggest issue where players with max commanders can just go back to season two, and then halfway in season two, guess what? It reached 350 days. At a certain point in the season two of KVK, you get access to all the old commandos. So Zenobia, Nebuchadnezzar, Ramses, Attila the Keda, all these top tier commandos. Players who already have them can just use them in season two, but people who are actually playing the season two legitly have to wait until the Kingsland opens to even have an Attila MGE. So they go the whole KVK not able to counter anything, only using Edward Tomalis, and then you got opponents who just migrate back and they just use Zenobia, Garrison, and they use Attila Decatur rallies, and they just completely decimate you because you're playing the game legit. So going forward, we will also be adjusting the matchmaking rules for the Ark of Osiris League, and Lost Kingdom events to ensure that opponents are always from kingdoms of the same season. So before, they always did the two seasons, like before Kingdom 650. But now I can see that they're gonna be attempting to split it into the season one, the season two, season three, and season of conquest, where you can only get matched up with people in these certain seasons. But that also makes an issue where um it just lowers the matchmaking and also could put players up for harder matchmaking. Well, I feel like all these issues could just be resolved. Um, all these all these issues could be solved explicitly for Ark of Osiris and Osiris League if you just gave, like what they did in the Osiris League Grand Final, where they just give both alliance and all the players just all the commanders that they can use. So it's not a matter of what you have, but it's a matter of strategy, which how Archivil Silas should be every single time, not just a game of trying to get people with the best commanders and the best gear to take over in multiple positions. Um, but Lost Kingdom, that should always be in the same season. But like, anyways, we sincerely apologize again for any inconvenience caused to you. Thank you for supporting Rise of Kingdoms. We hope you enjoy the game. I'm just gonna go back to this and talk to this last time. They're trying to optimize changes which make it better for newer players, but they didn't do anything about it. All they did was lock players from migrating to older, more established kingdoms if they wish, and made them stuck in the starting seasons if they do. But but then it also just locks players who migrate back, but they migrated back to do those seasons, so they don't care if they're locked. So the lock doesn't do anything. So I feel like the only optimal change that would that could work for the system is simply just make it so if you go back, like you have to wait longer to get the command, like to use the certain commanders, or just simply you have to wait until the commander at least gets released for everyone else, like in the same season as you, etc. Like you should not be getting access to commanders like Nebuchadnezzar and Zenobia that who you get like 700 plus days in, and people can use them expertise 350 days in a kingdom, and 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 Lilith does not see an issue about that. Um, I just saw these immigration rules updated this morning. I had to think about it real fast, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm just gonna stop landing. I'm just gonna keep beating around the bush and just keep sticking to the same points. But I think everyone understands me. These new rules just don't don't really help with any of the issues right now. It creates more issues for newer players than trying to make it atone for newer players. Anyways, leaving it at that. If you have any opinions, questions, or comments, don't be afraid to leave them down below. I hope all you guys have a good woofing day. Bye bye.
Baking pancakes, making bacon pancakes. Take some bacon and I'll put it in a pancake. Bacon pancakes, that's what it's gonna make. Bacon pancakes.